Marcus Cargyle on Motivated Solutions. This is the ministry side. It's like I have a dual personality, but I can't kind of separate them though. But you can kind of, be a little more secular when you're doing your motivational speaking. So if I'm speaking in front of a group of, Chrysler workers, or I'm speaking in front of a group of college students, or what I'm saying, there's a different way of bringing it. Still the positive message, but not so godly. But then I'm that godly man, 100% uncut, raw. And I just want to reiterate and just come clear as to, once again, my purpose, with my ministry, the last inning, wheat or tear. I say the last inning because most people know what a last inning is. Or I almost could equate it with the last quarter. But it's called the last inning, wheat or tear. And I call it that because no matter if we're in the last inning or the last quarter, if things aren't quite right, if the game plan is not winning, if things aren't turning around, and we still know you're the better team, you still know that victory is supposed to be yours, but things ain't quite going right, then in that last inning, in that last quarter, some things have got to change. The game plan, the soul searching, and that digging deep down. That's what I need you to do as a believer of God, to dig deep down. And to see what's going around you in your church, in this ministry. What's unacceptable and what is acceptable. Because like I said, the problem is too much in the church has been hijacked. Not the whole church. And really the whole church is the whole world. Let's get that understood. I'm a member of the church of those who believe in what I believe. There is no walls of that church. That's why you should be able to go anywhere in the world, and that brother that's sharing that right there, and if they're real, that's your brother. That's the blood that matters. And it doesn't matter anywhere in the entire world. If you wholly believe, if you truly believe, if you unequivocally, undeniably, unwaveringly, and to die for me, my mother, brother, sister, and yours, or whatever, for the cause of the living God. And lay down your life for God, for you've already given your life. It says once you pick up Him, you're dead to the world. Tomorrow's not promised. Eternity is promised. So understand that. And even when you accept God into your life, like me, there's joy. That's why you see me doing that praise dance, and I'm enjoying it. And when you see me, I'm not just bugging to the music. Every soul in my body is rejoicing to what He has revealed me to, what He has saved me from. What did He save me from? Not people. Not from myself. He saved me from damnation. He saved me from these little funky 70 years on life, and that was it. He saved me from that. It gave me eternity with an understanding and a mercy, a full undeserving. So it doesn't matter where you're at in your life. Doesn't matter where you're at in your understanding. Doesn't matter when you're at in your existence. It matters where you want to be in him. And want to be in him, the revelation will come like you can't even believe from people you didn't even believe or circumstances you didn't expect. I'm telling you, that's the miracle, but the miracle can't happen without you being in the right mind and perspective. And a lot of times, to be in that right mind and perspective, you got to get out of the world. You got to get out of the madness and the foolishness of who you call family and friends. And put people in the right perspective. Because before you know it, your life is over. That's why I praise dance. I am so much in joy that not only did he spare someone who didn't deserve it at all, a fool. When I say a fool, I was such a fool that, and his love and grace and mercy was so good to me. That's why I danced that. Can you imagine how when he said he come and get that sheep that's lost? Well, let me tell you something. He came to get me out the wolves' den. Because they like to play with me. Come look out for them, this, that. They ain't going to kill me because they can see, Then I go back, leave again, and come get me out the wolf's mouth. And the reason I'm still living is because the wolf don't want to eat me because I'm still so good. He knew I'm going to come back. So he don't want to eat me. I'm coming back like a dog to his vomit. So why do the wolf want to eat me? They want to. Believe me, some people in your life, some things, they want to do you all the way in. But why? They still using you like what those things they call it, that suck on you? Or no, not even that, a parasite. Parasite don't want to kill you. They don't want to kill the host. That's foolish. When I can live off you. That's what a parasite does. You ain't a good parasite if you're killing the host every time because you're killing yourself. And that's what them evil doers and evil naysayers and evil players and them evil game changers and all that old foolishness that's revealed in that fruit. But we ignore based on titles. We ignore based on who other people say who people are. But sit back as a true believer, and if your discernment is where it's supposed to be, and it's elevated past yourself, elevated past your emotions. Your discernment is elevated past your dysfunction. But in order to pass your dysfunction, you got to understand you're dysfunctional. That's the problem we have. And that's how they say with addicts or whatever. You got to accept you have a problem in order to fix the problem, whatever the problem is. I don't care if you got a problem in a relationship, problem in your life. If you don't identify the problem, you can't point at the problem because now it's time for you to do something about it. But you got 100% perfect right to point at a problem. But then that's where it ends. That's where it ends. Then you got to point up because he allowed the problem. So now that you point at the problem, you point up because he allowed it. Now you say, God, in the revelation, I'm going to roll with it. They ain't going to even. And then that's when they see you got joy in the midst of the storm. So in the midst of your problem, you still got joy. I'm trying to tell you I'm there. To get to this point, you have no clue about the suffering. The hate, the isolation, but I love it. Because every time it was confirmation to where I was headed. But when we allow those things in our life that was placed perfectly. My God don't make mistakes. So your trials and tribulations, your headaches, your this, that was placed perfectly. Not the only reason that you're still in it, the only reason it went too far, the reason that, because you didn't get the revelation, because you didn't allow it to follow through. You didn't continue to do well doing. You didn't take on his yoke when it got strong. You didn't take on these things that he tells you, that the word and God, like I said, that's a living word, baby. You gotta take these things seriously. And those things get you through. And those things in the Bible are so cold-blooded and beautiful and real that it not only gets you through, it'll have you walking on water. I'm flying with Jesus. If I don't see another person till the day I die, I love everybody, I love them all, but I love God more than every single person on this planet. And I love God more than every single circumstance I'm going to come upon. And I love God more than evil thought that come across my mind. And it will, because I'm flesh, I'm sinful. Perfection I can't attain. My desire to do right is inexplicably his. So power, the ability to access this power, the ability to reflect his power. And I'm not talking about reflect like you don't want it. I'm talking about you done got it and you done passed it off. You know what I'm saying? You done done a crossover. You done done a what was his name? A Spreewell or whatever it is, an Iverson of the Holy Spirit. And, woo! It's beautiful, baby. I may be saying it like that, and I'm saying it like that because it's real. I'm saying it's like that because this spiritual war we in is real. I'm saying it like that because the power that escapes God's people is real. I say this because religion is not to separate. It's to bring together. You know, if everybody keep hollering how it's revealed to them, we don't even talk about God. So we keep letting how it's revealed to us separate us. That's why I said I'll go speak as a man of God, a man that it was revealed to me, Jesus. Now, I'm not going to go anywhere that's going to tell me I'm not, or what I believe is wrong. I wouldn't go anywhere. I'm not going to go anywhere. Blasphemy is when you tell me who he is to me. That's blasphemy. But as long as you don't do that and you respect my love and my commitment, undying commitment to how it was revealed to me, we good. We can work on projects. We can work on humanity's suffering. We can work on these devil's lies in the last days. We can really work together in affecting people's lives and exercising God in their lives and really changing some things in this world in the last days. Religion is not to separate. You can knock nothing that's existing because the God we serve allowed it. So he allowed every religion, whatever you're talking about. So what? So what's the problem? That's what we got to exist. That's what we got to deal with. That's what has, I ain't even say it's got to be exposed. It is exposed. Just nobody does anything about it. That's why I said I'll go anywhere. I'll speak in any mosque. I'll speak in any synagogue. I'll speak in any African hut. I'll speak in any Australian Aborigines community that loves God. And you ain't trying to change me, and I'm not trying to change you. We're talking about God. You want to love God the way, not say how you want to love him. It's only one way to love God. But if that's how you say it was revealed to you, and I see that God is all in you, then it was revealed that way. And it's blasphemy to tell you that was wrong. We serve one true living God. And it's going to take all of us to deal with this evil one in the last days. He's showing you how much he's clowning. And all we can do is stay separated in this madness. And we're allowing it from people that are coming around as angels of light and ain't nothing but devils and wolves, and we know it. But I seen Cat Williams, he was saying a lot of things on Club Shay Shay. I got to get on there. I love that man. He said some things. I want to share some things. But he said, now, all the reasons why he said it, I'm not, agreeing with everything, whatever. But one thing I do know, he says the truth, and things going to change. And what's been accepted is not acceptable. And my ministry is about the youth. Because you're lying on them. You're lying on them. The rules, walking around as angels of light, you're lying on them. The youth are talented. They're wise. They know it's something greater than them. They know they deserve better. And deep down they know something's coming. It just irritates you. It just bothers you when you just can't get it. Then you want to know why they speed, why they act like a fool, why they got their pants sagging. It's not because they want to be gay. It's not because they want to be kill somebody in an accident. It's because they don't know how to act. They don't know how to be. They can't be intelligent. They can't exercise their brains and their wit. They can't exercise their fortitude to be great. This is all just restrained and in foolishness. And do you understand? How would you act? But we're not going to leave the youth there. And that's what my ministry is. Not my movement. It's the movement of God. It's unacceptable for true believers to say that the youth don't deserve the afterlife. We're going to keep throwing our shoulders up like there's some loss, whatever. That's the lie from the Matrix. Ain't nothing lost that's of God. And whatever's lost can be found in truth. That's what they're waiting on. Keep hearing all the truth and you keep hearing all this, but things ain't changing and people ain't standing up. It's still the status quo, and it just makes me sick. All the wealth of information, all the wealth of the true knowledge coming out, all the exposure of lies and the magnitude of misdirection and the misinformation is all that's coming out, but yet the status quo is still there. That's unacceptable. Black people, you know how many black people don't even know who James Baldwin is. And then you see on the internet all these black people that done great things. Have you ever heard of them? And you saying we're going to continue to have history books and something like that our children are going to read, that those people not in? Yeah. Like I said, is it that the old school, the old guard got to die off? Like with the children of Israel, they had to die off before the rest of them went over because they was hard-necked and stiff. Because they're my generation, I just hope that they rise to this occasion, like I said. We got to have these youth look, be like, man, do y'all hear that? What is that rumble? Right? Because they want to fight. An intellectual fight. They want to fight a moral fight, a righteous fight. And all of a sudden they just hear this rumble. Oh my God, a rumble. And then they look, and here is a line of black men, from lawyers to judges, to street hustlers, to dads, to brothers, to pastors, to cousins, to drug addicts, to whatever. But they in that line, and they marching hard, and they marching right past those they should have never let, or those that are not prepared for the front line. But it's time for black men to stand in the power of God. It's time for men, period. Because it's not just black youth, it's all our youth it's all youth of every race and nationality being attacked. Because if it's the last days, he already got it, most of us, in the miseducation, in the foolishness, in the thrown off and misguiding. So he got most of us. It's that youth. That's the next. That's the next thing. If he can get that, that's a big thing. And our kids deserve that, and their kids deserve that. Whatever we gonna squander, we ain't gonna squander it for them. So if you want to squander your salvation, you want to squander your eternity, I understand that, but please stand up for them. And march with me to the front line. The front line ain't scary when you're doing it something you wholeheartedly believe in. And in the revelation upon the greatness of God that's in us, that flows through us. Like I said, the youth's going to sound like mountains roaring and thundering. Which every man putting everything online, from job to life to limb to liberty. There's got to be some casualties, baby. And there's been some. There's been a lot. Lost their careers, lost their lives. It's just not enough casualties. I'm sorry to say that. It's not enough casualties, baby. One or two. Man, we gotta send hundreds of thousands to the front line in this spiritual war. We gotta send hundreds of thousands that's been doing their shoulders like this and say enough is enough, and act like when they say the British are coming and grab arms. Well, you know what? We got to grab arms for a cause so great. A cause so serious in nature. A cause more real than any cause in this world. Our youth. Their connection to God. The belief in a real, true, living God. And tackling that lie against God. So listen, I love you. Check out my sermons or teachers, preachers, word of advice. But the thing is, I come true. I come real. I come giving it if you want to hear it or not. A lot in serving God, a lot in making that those choices towards greatness requires hard choices. That's what comes on when my theme show song come on. Hard choices. But in the scheme of what you look at, that choice versus what the choice result or the choice heading, it's not a big choice at all. And when you really begin to delve into your inner being of the godly sort, I'm telling you, you'll be doing things you didn't even know how you got that skill. But it's been in you all the time. But I'm telling you, through the madness, through the matrix, through the foolishness we deal with every day, it's a distraction upon your reception of something you've already received. That's the shame in the whole thing. And what our purpose is being connected, when we don't live up to the greatness, when we don't live up to the reason for our creation, which is to affect other purposes. I'm going to let you go on this. I seen a guy, he says, you had a whole bunch of dots, and these are just black people, and they just, then you had a spider web, and they're connected, and that's how it is. We all doing our own thing, and this, that, and you got that. And when you understand history and atrocities from which entire people come up under, you'll understand why the sparse separation of thinking and thoughts and everything else, and the connectivity. But when the last days, it's time out. That's what you feel in the air. That's what you feel on the internet. That's the agitation you feel between entertainers and between politicians, between intellectual giants, between black folks. It's time in the wind, and it's there. The devil's been showing his butt. He used to hide in two people shooting and fighting over, did you step on my shoes in a club? You know, that's him too, sneaky. That's him too, the devil, with that foolishness. But in his last days, he's so desperate and he's so confident that he shows you just who he is. Because it's demonic, and it's him when you sit with 9 people praying and kill them. It's demonic when you go to a school and you kill 20-some kids. And you use a caliber gun that's so powerful, it's taking limbs and pieces of head. You understand the viciousness? Or when you got a guy that's shooting out at concert goers and kill 50 plus and wound 300 plus. That's the devil. Ain't no shame in this game. But we serve an awesome God. And when victory is already yours, ain't leave you hanging. People in that truth, and people coming with that truth are here. Many are coming. And we're headed to that front line. It is what it is, whatever costs, but the truth is the truth. And things have got to change. There is no light. So I love you with the love of God.